I don't remember the first time I heard about van life. Maybe it was into some like late night YouTube rabbit hole where I stumbled across people living in their vans talking about how freeing it was to just live on the road. Or maybe it was from the surfer at my local beach who swore he was living the dream while he ate instant ramen and slept in his van, which was mostly just a giant pile of surfboards. Either way, I was sold. I packed up my old van, let's be real, it's a rust bucket with wheels, and hit the road. It had character, or as I like to call it, patina. I've got everything I need in there. A bed that folds out into a couch. It's technically the same thing, but don't tell anyone. A mini fridge full of cheese sticks, and an old surfboard that looks more like a plank of wood than something you'd ride a wave on. But hey, it works for me. One morning, I was finishing up my surf session, the salty air making my hair look like I was starring in a shampoo commercial. I paddled back to shore, wiped the salt out of my eyes, and that's when I saw her. Okay, let's set the scene. She was sitting on the sand, her long hair blowing in the breeze, looking like she had just walked out of a magazine photo shoot. But it wasn't just her beauty, no. It was the dog. The dog that could only be described as a giant fluff ball of happiness. This dog, a golden retriever. But not just any golden retriever. This thing was the size of a small pony and was apparently the world's greatest fan of me. I'm walking out of the water, still dripping like a sponge, when the dog spots me. His eyes light up, and before I can even process what's happening, he bolts toward me. I try to brace myself, but he's already plowing into me like a tiny, furry bulldozer. Whoa, buddy! I yell, but it's too late. Buddy, the dog, not me, knocks me down with all the subtlety of a freight train. I land flat on my back in the sand, and Buddy, having no concept of personal space, decides my face is the perfect new bed. I see Buddy's taken a liking to you, says the woman who's laughing so hard she nearly drops her iced coffee. I squint up at her through the dog's fur. I think he just wanted to make sure I wasn't going to drown or something. Yeah, he's protective like that. She grins, not moving to help me. Great, I mutter, half buried in sand. I'm Jake, by the way, and this is, my new best friend. The dog, Buddy, gives a happy bark like he's proud of his work, and I, of course, can't help but laugh. Well, I'm Emily, she says, stepping closer, still holding that iced coffee like it's the most important thing in the world. And this is Buddy. He's usually more, well, let's say chill. But I guess he's just really excited to meet you. Well, I'm happy to meet him too, I say, sitting up and brushing sand out of places I'd rather not mention. Honestly, though, I think he's just trying to get me to pet him. He seems like the kind of dog that knows how to manipulate people. Emily laughs. Yeah, he's good at it, but don't let him fool you. He'll steal your sandwich if you're not looking. Good to know, I chuckle. I'll make sure to keep an eye on my lunch. We exchange a few more words, and there's that moment. The one where you know something is hanging in the air, but you're too polite to admit it. We're both standing there, Buddy wagging his tail between us, and I can feel this weird, lighthearted tension building. It's like, I don't know. When your dog really likes someone, and you kind of like them too? Yeah, that's exactly it. So, you live around here? I ask, trying to sound nonchalant, but definitely not succeeding. Emily tilts her head like she's figuring me out. Yeah, I'm a fellow Vanlifer, parked down the beach. You? Same, I say. Well, I mean, technically it's a van, but it's more like a vintage van. Full of charm, you know? It's got character. She looks at me for a second. I'm just going to assume you're a surfer. I mean, it's not like you're a corporate lawyer with those sand-covered shoes. I look down at my flip-flops, then back at her. Hey, I'll have you know, these are designer flip-flops. At least I think they are. They were on sale. She laughs, and I swear it's the best thing I've heard all day. We chat for a bit longer, me talking about my surfboard that's almost as old as I am, and her explaining how Buddy is really just an oversized lapdog trapped in a big, burly body. But all the while, I feel something I can't quite place. Then, of course, she calls. my ex. I hadn't expected her to show up in the middle of my perfect beach moment, but there she was, blowing up my phone like I'd just forgotten to pay the rent or something. I answer with a deep sigh. Hey, what's up? Jake, she says in that way that makes me want to punch a wall. Are you seriously still living in that van? Like, you could have a real life, you know? Condo, city views, a closet full of handbags. You can't be serious about this. I look over at Emily, who's watching me with the sweetest, most amused expression. Yeah, I'm good. Actually, really good. I've got a lot of character going on over here, I say, glancing at my van. My ex starts rambling about how I'll never make it big living like this, but honestly, I don't really care anymore. I turn the volume down, grin at Emily, and tell her, so, when do we, do this again? You know, without the, emotional baggage? Emily chuckles. I think I can handle that. So we walk along the beach, Buddy pulling ahead as if he knows something we don't. The air is warm, the sunset is coming, and the more we talk, the more I realize this is it. I'm done with the city life, the handbags, the designer watches, the whole perfect on paper idea. I'm living the life I want, waves, sand, a beautiful woman, and a dog who steals sandwiches. As we walk, our conversation starts to drift toward, that moment. The one where you both know it's about to happen, but you're both too shy to make the first move. The tension is almost too much to handle. So, this is nice, I say, feeling like I'm trying to navigate a minefield. It is, she says, looking at me with that look. You know, the one that makes your heart skip a beat. And then, with no more hesitation, I lean in. She leans in, and we kiss. Not one of those slow, dramatic kisses where everything around you fades out, but more of a, yup, this feels right kind of kiss. It's awkward and wonderful all at once, like we both knew it was inevitable. I pull away first, grinning like an idiot. Well, that was exactly what I was expecting, I say, my voice cracking a little. Yeah, you'll get used to it, she grins. This van life thing has its perks. You're telling me, I say, nodding toward Buddy, who is currently rolling in the sand like he's got no cares in the world. So, yeah, life's pretty great right now. My ex can keep her condos and her designer bags. I'm good here, in my van, with Emily, Buddy, and the open road. Bring on the adventures.